Hello, and welcome to a little video about using linear combination to solve a system of linear equations. Now, this is also called the elimination method, and this is my all-time favorite method. Now, in order to get comfortable with it first, we're going to solve a few problems that are prepared to do linear combination on right away. Now, in a different lesson, we're going to learn how to manipulate the equations to make it work. But right now, for linear combination, what we need to look for is opposites. And what do I mean by opposites? I mean an opposite like positive 2x and negative 2x. Those are opposites. Or like 7y and negative 7y. Whoa, I don't like how thick that purple pen is. Let's fix that. There we go. And negative 7y. So we want a positive and negative version of the same number/variable combination. So in number 1, do you see opposites? Because I see them. Every single one of these for right now is going to have opposites. Hopefully, you can tell that in number 1, the x's are opposite. So what we are going to do is we are going to add everything going up and down. Okay, negative 4x plus 4x is 0. They're gone. Good, that's why they're opposites. It really helps. Then we got negative 2y plus 8y, which gives us 6y. Negative 12 plus negative 24 is negative 36. And now we are one single step away from finding out what y is. And all we have to do is divide both sides by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So y equals negative 6. Awesome. Okay, we got y. Now we need to find x. Now the good thing about systems when they're in linear combination kind of mode, where their x's and y's are on the same side and the term that's by itself is on the other, we can choose whichever equation we want to plug in our variable. So it's up to you whether we plug y equals negative 6 into the first or second equation. Now, because I'm leading the lesson, obviously I can't really ask you all video. I'm just going to pick the first one. So our the original equation is negative 4x minus 2y equals negative 12. I wanted to use blue. There we go. Okay, we found y. So let's substitute that in. Negative 4x minus 2, and then instead of y, I'm going to put negative 6 in parentheses. Okay, let's solve for x. First, we need to multiply negative 2 and negative 6, which gives us positive 12. Which means we have negative 4x plus 12 equals negative 12. In order to continue working towards getting x by itself, we need to subtract 12 from both sides. We're doing this because it's a plus 12, and to undo plus 12, we subtract 12. Alright, so we got negative 4x equals negative 24, because negative 12 minus 12 is negative 24. And then one final step to finding out x, and that is dividing by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So we have that x equals positive 6. We are about to be done with this problem. We have one last thing to do, and that is to write our answer. 6 comma negative 6. Remember, it's always x and then y. If you ever forget the order, just think about the alphabet in English. X comes before y. Okay? Let's try number 2. Remember, we're looking for opposites because it allows us to cancel that term out. So in number 2, do you see opposites? Remember, it's got to be the positive and negative version of the same variable with the same number in front. Hopefully you can see that this time our y's are opposites. There is a negative 1y and a positive 1y. That invisible 1. All right, Since we've got opposites, we can add. X plus 2x is 3x. Negative 1 plus 1y, negative 1y plus 1y is 0. And that equals 11 plus 19 is 30. All we got to do to find x now is divide both sides by 3. X equals 10. That is so much faster. We found x so much faster than the substitution method, right? I hope you agree. Now, all I need to do is find y. I can use whichever equation I feel like. And since I used the first one in number 1, let's use the second one for number 2. Again, no real rhyme or reason, I'm just feeling like it. You could be using the first equation, and we'll get the same answer. And even if you're one of my students, it could be different if you're doing this at home. I let the class pick, so we could have done a different equation, the first one, let's say, and you would still get the same answer as us. Anyways, back to it. We found that x is 10, so I'm going to substitute in 10 instead of x. So I got 2 times 10 plus y equals 19. 2 times 10 is 20 plus y equals 19. Ooh, and lucky us, we only have one more step to take, and that is to subtract 20 from both sides. Y equals negative 1. All right, much faster. Hopefully, you're starting to feel how much easier it is in the substitution method. All right, so here's our final answer, 10 comma negative 1. Now, if you disagree with me and you, for some reason, find the substitution method easier, then you do you, man. Like, I'm jealous. I wish I also found it a little easier. But this is the way to go. I'm going to swear by it. Number 3. Do you see opposites? Remember, positive and negative version of the same variable. Hopefully, in this problem, you see that our x's are opposites. So, let's add. Alright, negative 6 and 6, the x's cancel. 5y plus 4y gives us 9y. 1 plus negative 10 is negative 9. And we already have y. Okay, almost already. We had to divide by 9. Y equals negative 1. Let's find x by plugging it into one of the equations. So the first one in 1, second one in 2, so let's do the first one again. I like patterns. So you got negative 6x plus 5y equals 1. We have y, so that's what I'm replacing. Okay, so it's negative 6x plus 5, and then negative 1 in parentheses, and it still equals 1. Let's multiply. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. So I have negative 6x minus 5 equals 1. Let's add 5 to undo the subtraction. So now we have that negative 6x equals 6. And of course, we're going to finish by dividing both sides by negative 6 to get the x equals negative 1. Oh, I like these kind of problems when it's the same number twice. Negative 1, negative 1. Why do I like them? Oh, it looks pretty. Look at those two negative 1s next to each other. Wow. Let's try another. How many do you have left to try? 2 more? Perfect. Let's do it. Okay, in number 4, do you see opposites? Hopefully you can tell that the y's are opposite this time. Let's add and find x. Negative 2x plus 4x is positive 2x. Negative 9y plus 9y is 0. And negative 25 plus 23 is negative 2. Let's divide. X equals negative 1. Awesome. That was so fast. Let's find y. Let's plug it into the second equation. Now sometimes, you might hear me say in later problems that we do, sometimes I like picking equations that have smaller numbers in them, but it really doesn't matter which one you choose. As long as you have the right variable and you're plugging it into the correct space. In this case, we have x, so we're going to replace x with negative 1. So now we have negative 4 times negative 1 plus 9y equals 23. Let's multiply. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and then plus 9 equals 23. Let's add 4 to both sides. We're undoing that negative 4. So now we have 9y equals 27. And let's finish by dividing both sides by 9. Y equals 3. All right. Let's write our answer. Negative 1, comma 3. All right, last one. Do you see the opposites that exist in number 5? Hopefully, you can see that the y's are opposite again. So let's add and find x. Negative 7x plus 8x is x. Oh, sweet. Negative 2y plus 2y is 0. Negative 24 plus 30 is 6. X equals 6. Heck yeah. Let's find y. You know what? I'm going to pick the second equation this time. Why? This time I have a reason. It has all even numbers, and that makes me happy. That's literally the only reason. Let's do it. I highlighted the wrong letter. We found x. Now since we found x, let's plug x in instead of... Sorry, let's plug 6 in instead of x. My goodness. Alright, so we have 8 times 6 plus 2y equals 30. 8 times 6 is 48. Everything stays the same. Now let's subtract 48. Since it was positive, we undo it with a negative. 2y equals negative 18. No. No. Is it? I need to double check. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart moment on the last problem. It just feels wrong. Something's wrong. Oh, it's not. I'm crazy. It is negative 18. Okay. I can't believe I had to double check that on my calculator. My goodness, Gumin. I should be more confident. Anyways, let's finish by dividing both sides by 2. Y equals negative 9. Alright, not bad. So this is first let's write our answers. Oops. Well, this is essentially the process of linear combination. Now, opposites won't always exist. I think that's pretty much a given. These are nice and they're set up that way. In a later lesson, I will show you what we're going to do when we don't have opposites. Right now, let's just get comfortable with the process and solve some problems through linear combination. If you have any questions, please let me know or whoever else is helping you in math know, and have a wonderful rest of whatever day it is for you. Bye!